Attention! Michael's Monday movie rants are not reviews and do contain spoilers. You have been warned. What do you get when a famous professional wrestler dons a superhero costume with the intent to be the biggest, baddest anti-hero around? Well, you get the excellent HBO Max series Peacemaker, starring John Cena. But more importantly, you get this week's movie in the same universe starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, entitled Black Adam. I'm Michael. This is Monday, so let the movie rant begin. To say I was hyped for Black Adam would be an understatement. Following the watch of DC's League of Super Pets, I was so stoked to see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson don a cape again and go on his latest superhero romp. Did I like it as much as Super Pets? Ooh, I don't know. The jury's still out on that one. I just don't know which one I like best. I mean, I know I'll probably watch Black Adam a ton more times than Super Pets, but I mean, does that mean that Black Adam wins by default? And yes, Black Adam was that good. It's just the shot in the arm that DC needs to bring back some fun and adventure in their live-action films. Listen, I loved Zack Snyder's Justice League more than many people did. In fact, it's one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. But one film does not a franchise make. Individual films like Justice League and The Joker, which by the way is also on my top 10, these type of films are great standalone affairs. But DC needs some stability, and in a wider sense, they need to have some cohesion in their superhero movies. I'm talking a sustained look, feel, and attitude. They need a world to play in. And no, I'm not talking about a universe. No Marvelverse, no Snyderverse. They need commonality between their movies. How are they going to do it, you might ask? Well, let's start off with Viola Davis. She's the glue to DC movies. First off, she's an amazing actress whose presence is felt even when she's not in the same room as the other actors. Her work on both Suicide Squad movies was brilliant, and she chews up the scenes. And any chance she gets, she dominates like a wrecking ball of talent. You better bring your A game when you're acting opposite her, as she can dominate you to the point that you don't even matter when you're in the same room. She's in Black Adam, and her character is up to her old tricks, calling in superheroes to stop this newly awakened metahuman called Teth Adam, which is basically Black Adam, and of course is played by The Rock. Having her character bookend the movie with her presence, she's never even in the country that Black Adam's in, but it just brings out the sense that there's a larger world. She doesn't have time to personally take a stake in this, and she doesn't have time to bring out the A-team of the Justice League. You know, Marvel can have their movies with all their characters in the same movie. They call that a universe. But a universe where everyone can meet up, it seems like a very small universe to me. The fact that in this movie, the world is so big and complex and nuanced that Amanda Waller, Viola Davis's character, has to call in the Justice Society, basically the B team, to take care of a 5,000-year-old super powerful being that just happens to be wreaking havoc in a third world country. That is the epitome of a big world. We don't have time to call Superman. We'll call in Dr. Fate. Moreover, Waller isn't sending in troops to liberate this third world country. No. She just wants to get the immediate threat, remove it, and be on her way. She's not trying to solve the world's problems. She's just trying to stop one major event. It almost sounds too real. What's the second thing that can bind these things together? Shazam. Black Adam, or Teth Adam. I didn't know this, but I knew he had something to do with Shazam. I never read the comics, but now it makes sense. Okay, throughout the movie, we keep hearing that he got his powers from some wizards, and we find out that it's the same wizards, or wizard, that gave Billy Batson his powers. By saying the name Shazam, Black Adam turns into the superhero, or anti-superhero. Or is it super anti-hero? This immediately ties the world together without even having Shazam in the movie. No longer do we have to deal with Superman's Metropolis and Batman's Gotham being the entire existence of the DC world that they're creating. No, now we have Shazam and Black Adam. These two can now be tentpoles for these franchises and groups of movies to move on. I think that's a brilliant move. If DC can succeed in holding people's attention with these two characters, just imagine what a Superman and Batman movie will do to the audiences. It's an amazing time that we're living in. Black Adam right now is going up against Wakanda Forever. And as far as I'm concerned, it looks like it's holding its own. Number 3, the look and feel. Black Adam looks like a popcorn movie. It feels like a summer blockbuster dropped off in November. It has an Aquaman quality to it. What do I mean by that? Well, look at Batman v Superman, then look at Aquaman. You can see the difference. One's drab and broody, dull colors, that's a Snyder film. One's bright and colorful, playful palette of Aquaman. The foreign locations in Aquaman look exotic, whereas Zack Snyder's locations look ancient and tired. Now don't get me wrong, like I said, I love Zack Snyder's vision, and his movies do have a resonance with people, but the aesthetic just doesn't carry over. I think that's why Wonder Woman 1984 had such bright, vibrant colors. I mean, it was like Zack Snyder's drained out all the colors so that the movies that opposed Zack Snyder had to be so colorful to make up for it. Black Adam's look and feel looks like a superhero. It's not overly colorful, but it is colorful enough and it's distinctive enough to feel like it lives in the same world as Shazam or even Aquaman. Black Adam looks like a recreation of a DC comic, whereas Marvel movies look like a recreation of Marvel cartoons. Their color palettes are more things that don't seem to exist in reality, cartoony, colorful recreations. Black Adam just looks like it leapt off the comic. There is a difference. You know, cartoons from Marvel were always a bit lighthearted, and their portrayal of the characters' look and feel carried over that lightheartedness. Black Adam, in more than one occasion, had me thinking, did I see that pose in the comic book cover? Or is that just taken from one of the pages? Because I thought I saw that. They just did a great job with establishing a new world for these characters to play. The acting is just over the top and corny enough to fit in these type of films. The action scenes were mile a second, non-stop thrill rides, and they were choreographed so well you'd think that it was Paula Abdul creating it. The costumes are fantastic, and I'm even starting to like Hawkman. Throughout my entire life, I always thought this character was goofy, and I didn't like him, but in this movie, the actor who portrayed Hawkman carried the character with such weight and seriousness that played off of all the goofy, funny, corny parts, and it made me actually respect the character. The fact that he and Black Adam butt heads in such a way, I thought it was a great dynamic. And of course, when you see Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate, it's wonderfully refreshing that the movie itself recognizes that he's getting way too old for this stuff, and it's just like putting all your cards on the table and saying, hey, you know what? This isn't the best team that we have, but this is what we've got. And I thought that was a great way to do it. I mean, you know, when Dr. Fate says he's gonna sit this one out for one of the fights, I thought, oh my God, he's just such an old fart. Or when we see him just popping pills, I was thinking maybe it's his heart pills because he's just about to die. I mean, that's clever touches that, you know, really respect the fact that, yes, you needed somebody with acting chops, a presence about them, but they're really not kind of superhero material, so let's make him an old guy and just admit that he's, past his prime, instead of trying to make him into something he's not. I like the Atom Smasher. I mean, he was basically the comic relief. He's just this giant oaf towering over the city, breaking things, smashing like priceless monuments that are like thousands of years old. He added much needed mirth to the film. And Cyclone was simply breathtaking. See what I did there? No, really, seriously though. I had so much fun watching her, and she has this budding romance with Atom Smasher, and her powers, when they use the special effect for her powers of wind, it's incredibly beautiful. It's all these different bright colors. It's not drab, it's just fun. Okay, so how did Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson do against this whole cast of people? He did great. I mean, he played the character to the T as a person that was out of time, out of place, kind of, serious, but still had a little bit of quirks. And I liked the fact that they had this kid there as his foil. It kind of did the whole Shazam thing where, the kid turns into Shazam. Well, now it's got this anti-Shazam, but there's a kid attached to him. So I like that. And the whole joke when the kid says, "You need a catchphrase," and Black Adam kills people before he can even get to the catchphrase. Like, he kills people so fast he can't even get to it. That was pretty funny. Oh, yes. Oh, by the way, there's death in this. Black Adam does kill people. Towards the end, Hawkman says, you can't go killing people. But the other thing that I liked was when Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate explains to Black Adam what sarcasm is, and then Black Adam just goes on to say every time he says a lie, he's like, "Well, that's just sarcasm." I thought that was funny. Yes, there was an end credit scene, and yes, everybody's super happy that it was Henry Cavill's Superman. But for me, I'm really looking forward to a confrontation between Shazam and Black Adam, because I think that's where the magic lies, in this new world, in these two new, superheroes, anti-superheroes, making DC a larger place. We don't always have to go back to the well and give us an origin story of Superman. Give us an origin story of Batman. Let's keep going back to Gotham. Let's keep going back to Metropolis. Why can't we just go from here? There's so many other characters they could bring out. I mean, I'd love to see something along the lines of, the Green Lantern Corps, or, hey, I have a great idea, the Legion of Superheroes. Let's bring some new life and breath into this world. Just imagine that universe. My gosh, the Legion of Superheroes 1,000 years in the future. They don't even connect with those other people except through tenuous ties to Superman. Anyways, let's get back to the story. There were some minor issues with dialogue choices. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm kind of over the whole thing that, we can't think of a bad guy, so let's just make him look like the devil and call it a day. That vibe needs to end. I know people say, "Oh, well, this is comic book." I don't care. I don't care if it's accurate to comics or not. Let's come up with a better villain. We've seen that kind of trope done to death. It was lazy and unimaginative, but everything else, 5 stars. This one I'll watch again, and hopefully even in the movies I'll watch it. Now if we could just get a live-action Crypto movie, then we could have The Rock as Crypto going up against himself as Black Adam. Crypto versus Black Adam in Day of Destruction. How's that for a movie title? Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. For more videos, please click the links above.